What's up, guys? This is Melo here, and today we're gonna profile Fluffals. And this deck belongs to Shinigami. So this is the first deck that he owns that we're gonna profile, and he actually is gonna give it a try. So hopefully he does really good. And just to keep in mind that this deck is not competitive, is just to have fun, and it's actually a really good deck to have fun. So, and it's probably one of the best builds I've seen. So here you go. You go ahead.
All right. So to start out with, we have 3 Fluffal dogs. He's basically like the Stratos of it. He's a searcher. You can search for any Fluffal monster, Edgem Saber. Usually I go for the Edgem Saber, but during sometimes you have to go for the Fluffal just in case. So he's a really good card, and he's a good beater, 1700. He's decent. Next we got 3 owls. Now owl, I have him at having him at 3 is kind of controversial, but like that's how I like it. He's basically like you can search a poly when he's normal or special summoned, and his other effect I don't really use. You have to pay 500 life points to use him as a polymerization basically. So I usually go for the search.
So you can use him as a...
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Pay 500 life points. That's
nice.
the cost. Next up we have 2 Fluffal bears. Bear, I say he's like, to me he's the weakest of the Fluffals, but like I have him at 2 because of FRIGHTFUR bear, and his effect is pretty decent. Search out a toy vendor, set it, and he's also there for material, of course. Next up, cat. His effect is when he's used as a fusion material, I can target polymerization in my graveyard and add it to my hand. So he's just there just to recycle. Next up we have 2 rabbits. Rabbit is there, of course, for recycling as well. You can when he's used as a material, I can add an Edgem Saber or a Fluffal monster. Leo. Next up is Leo. Leo is just there just as a beater. When he attacks, he gains 500 attack. So that's why I'm there.
And then that's another name for polymerization. So that's always good.
Next up, we have 2 Edgem Sabers. He is the main material for your fusion monsters. He is the main star, and I run him at 2 because of his ability to special summon himself by top decking a card. Because you can just recycle him all over the place, and he's a good searcher for tour guide, which I'm about to show you right now. 3 tour guides. Now tour guide is there, of course, for Edgem Saber. You normal summon her. You can search out a fiend, level 3 or fiend type monster from your hand or your graveyard, which is Edgem Saber, of course. Next up, 1 toy vendor. Toy vendor, some people run them at 2 or 3, but to me, like that big cost to discard and draw, and if it's not a Fluffal monster, you draw into a staple or some other card, then you discard it, and that kind of like screws you over. So that's why I run my 1. Next up, of course, we have 2 super polymerizations, which is the basic staple for Fluffals, fusion summon. 1 dark fusion. Dark fusion acts as another acts as a polymerization, but for fiend type monsters. With this build, like for the fusion monsters, they're all fiend type monsters, FRIGHTFUR bear and FRIGHTFUR wolf. And to have them, you can fusion summon from the hand or from the field. I mean, and the other thing good about it is it can be targeted by spells, traps, or monster effects by this turn. So if they try to attack you, go for like deep prison or anything else like that, then it won't work. So So it's good for the OTK potential. Next up is my favorite, Fusion Weapon. Now Weapon, he's there because, to be like, let's be perfectly honest, the Fluffal monsters are pretty weak, and they need this to gain like the really high boosts, and this is really good to OTK as well. Next up, basic staples: one Regeki, 2 MSDs, 1 Book of Moon, and that's all for the spells. Next up we have traps, 2D prisons, 1 Mirror Force, trap down to stop plays for your OTK, Phoenix Chain, Bottomless, Solemn Warning, Torrential, Fusion Reverse, and 2 Breakthrough Spells.
Can you explain the fusion reverse?
Fusion Reverse.
Or reserve.
Reserve. I can reveal a fusion material from my one fusion monster from my extra deck, and I can search for that material from my deck, and then add a poly from my graveyard. It's good just to recycle and to get those materials back for your fusion summoning.
Okay.
So that's it for the main deck. Next up, the extra deck. 3 Frightfur Wolf. Wolf is the main boss monster, as if you want to call it. Like, he can you can use the materials as the number of attacks, which is really good. A good combo is that and fusion weapon. It's really good.
Doesn't make it 35 beater?
35 beater, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Next up, 2 bears. Bear, I don't really go into bear, but sometimes I need to. His effect is pretty decent. When he attacks and destroys a monster sent to the graveyard, you can equip the monster to him and it gets 1,000. Plus, if you need him, you can fusion weapon him as well. Next up, we have Leviathan Dragon just as a beater. Zemain to stall.
I like how you say to stall.
Leviar. Giga Brilliant for the extra boost. Alucard to pop. Golem just as a beater in case you didn't you run into some big monsters your opponent has. Nightmare Shark just to attack directly, which is kind of satisfying. Harland Draco again, like Shark to attack directly. Cowboy for game, and Castile just because of the effect, just to detach 2 and just shuffle it back into your deck.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright, so as you guys know, we don't have a side deck for this, but just because the fact that this is just for fun. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the profile, and I think that Shinigami did really good for the first time that he's profile deck. So please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Bye.